What's up, guys? It's Reuben, also known as Nitro Rue. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. If you guys are still subscribed to this channel, chances are you love motorcycles. And I haven't uploaded anything to this channel in, man, I think 4 years or so. And a lot of you guys have sent me messages over the last few years. I used to do a little series some of you may have heard of or seen before called Weekly Rides with Reuben under another channel. And I thought maybe I would continue that on this channel back when I was doing that regularly. But man, life just got in the way. I was so busy with family and raising kids, teenagers now, and work, you know, my day job, just super busy. And it just didn't materialize. In fact, I ended up selling my ZRX, which I've got quite a few videos of on this channel. Loved that bike so much. Really thought I'd keep it for a long time, but it was getting older, had some problems, and I used the money from it to fund a really awesome road trip, partially fund, I should say, that we did with our kids a few years back. But I haven't had a bike since then, which is crazy. I always had bikes. I always rode. Love motorcycles. I just have been too busy. Anyway, I'm pulling up some old footage for you guys out of the archives that I actually recorded the day that I sold my ZRX. I just never got around to editing it and publishing it. So I'm going to bring that to you now, and stick around for after the video. We can chat about maybe what's to come. Hey guys, long time no ride. It's Reuben, also known as Nitro Rue over here on this channel. As most of you, I think, are subscribers to this channel know, I used to do weekly rides with Reuben over on the Competition Accessories channel. And I wanted to make a quick video. Well, actually, it might not be that quick. Hopefully my GoPro battery dies. It's been sitting for a while, but anyway. I just wanted to make a video, first of all, to thank all of the people who were loyal fans of the Weekly Rides with Reuben series. I had a lot of fun making those videos. Got to ride lots of different motorcycles, went on lots of different adventures, and it was always kind of fun to just bring you guys along for the ride and hear the comments that you had. Almost everybody was pretty nice, which is kind of unusual for YouTube, really, if you think about it. So that was cool. But this video is kind of sad because, well, I'm actually riding over to a guy's house who's interested in buying the old ZRX. And I made a ride video on this thing the day I bought it, which was almost 7 years ago. It was about 6.5 years ago or so. It was November of '09. And I bought it, flew out to Texas, rode it over 500 miles back home the same day. And I've had it since it had about 15,000 miles on it, and it's at 57,835 right now. So I've put a lot of miles on this thing, a lot of memories. I've ridden this thing across Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, where else? Maybe I've dipped into Virginia. Anyway, awesome motorcycle. I can't say enough about the ZRX, and a lot of the guys on the ZRX OA, which I've been a part of since actually before I got the bike, because I knew I wanted a ZRX, and I know I'm going to regret selling this bike. I already know that, but at this point in life, I've got 2 kids going into middle school now, and as some of you know who watched regularly, a close friend of mine and co-worker got in a pretty bad wreck back in May of last year. So it would have been May of 2014. So it's been a little over a year now. But a pickup truck turned left in front of him. Classic example of how a lot of guys get taken out. But he was commuting home from work. We actually worked together. Left both on our bikes that Friday afternoon. And he was riding home. I made it home. He did not. I got the phone call about 10:30 that night that he was in the hospital. Thankfully, he lived, but only barely. He had to be resuscitated in the OR. Broke his hip, severed an artery down there, and was bleeding out. And
It was really only by the grace of God that there was an ambulance behind him when the wreck happened. They were literally on the scene when the wreck happened, and they rushed him to the hospital, and he, I mean, minutes later he wouldn't have made it. So that weighed really heavily on my mind, you know. And I rode this bike 10,000-15,000 miles a year for the first 5 years I had it, and then after his wreck I maybe put about 3,000 miles on that, you know, this over the last year. And a big part of it was just, you know, watching his recovery, and thankfully he's walking today. He's made it. He's, you know, got a limp. He's never going to walk the same. I mean, the guy, and he lost half of his fingers on his left hand. I mean, it was bad, but he made it, and that's the big thing. And one of the coolest things, I wish I tried to get a video and my memory card corrupted when it happened, but one of the coolest things that happened, gives me chills to think about it even right now, is it was about a year, it was maybe a day or two before the year anniversary of his wreck. I tossed him the keys to this bike, and I knew he had wanted to ride again. And he has a hard time kind of swinging his leg over the bike because there's nerve damage and all kinds of stuff with his leg going on. But he got on the bike, he was able to ride it, he even pulled a wheelie. And it was awesome. I mean, just to see him come full circle. So it was really cool to see. But anyway, that wreck has really made me think. And I'm not done with motorcycles. I know I'm not. But with the kids at the stage that they're at, riding on the street is, I mean, obviously I'm doing it right now, but I'm not doing it as much as I used to. And when I am, I'm just constantly thinking about the friends. And Shane's not the only one. I've had a few friends that have been hit, and thankfully nobody super close to me has died, but I've obviously seen plenty of stories of friends who weren't so fortunate, didn't make it. And you could be a defensive driver, a rider, and wear all your gear, but there's some things that you just can't walk away from. So anyway, one of the cool things, here's the upside of this, and of course this deal may not go through. I've never met this guy, but he sounds pretty cool talking to him on the phone. He has a 94 XR650, and so part of the thing we're talking about maybe doing is doing kind of a partial trade type of deal. So I may not be motorcycle-less, because I've not been motorcycle-less for over 10 years, and I just have a hard time wrapping my head around that concept. So I'm gonna check it out and see what kind of shape it's in. It's not running right now, but it is complete, and it's been sitting a long time. So I'll see what kind of shape it's in, and obviously he's gonna check out the ZRX and see if it's what he's looking for. We'll see if it works out, and if it doesn't, I know I'm gonna be back on a bike. And you know, a dual sport or a dirt bike, I'm a little more inclined to ride at this stage, because I can stay off the main roads for the most part, and just ride trails and stuff like that. You know, if I run myself into a tree and break my arm, that's one thing. I'm responsible for my own actions, and I totally accept that part of the risk. What I'm having a hard time with lately is other people in cars, and with cell phones these days, my goodness, it's just insane. People not watching out for you. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to keep recording for a little bit. Actually, I'm going to shut it off for a bit. You might be able to tell looking at the sky, I am threading the needle between some nasty storm clouds. I checked the radar, and it was looking questionable, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Be one last crazy adventure on the ZRX, so we'll see how it goes. All right, you guys are awesome. Stay tuned, and we'll see how this story progresses. So here's a good view of the storms I'm riding between. As you see, a plane taking off in front of me there, right by the Charlotte airport. There he goes. And to my west is a big bad dark storm. And to my east, there's a big bad dark storm. And I am literally riding right between them up to meet this guy near downtown Charlotte. and we'll kind of see how the weather progresses after we've had a chance to look over the bikes and met and everything. I might be getting very, very soaked on the way home. Hopefully I don't get soaked before I get to his house, because when I looked at the radar, the storm was developing very close to his house, but he was just on the edge. So I might get lucky. So we'll see how it progresses. I mean, I'm kind of, you know, I was really torn about selling the ZRX, having had it so long and all the memories on it. And especially a big part of that was not having anything in the garage. I mean, I like the option of riding when, you know, when the desire arises. In fact, I finally took this thing out for just a fun ride, which I hadn't done that in a long time. Just go ride for fun. I mainly was just commuting on it before, for the past, you know, year or so. But sometimes you just need to go for a ride, you know, and I know you guys get that. So let's watch out and see what these, again, crazy cagers, I don't know what they're doing. You never know. Walking across the street trying to get gas. 3 cars. I am gonna miss this bike. One other thing I did want to say in this video before my battery dies is just wanted to clear the air with the competition accessories guys. I kind of saw the writing on the wall that some kind of buyout or merger or something was coming about a year before it actually happened. And you know, there were rumblings about something, I don't know. But anyway, bottom line is another opportunity came up for me career-wise, which was just a lot better for my family and myself, and so I made the move. It was a hard decision to leave the motorcycle industry because I really do love it, but at the same time the motorcycle industry career-wise has its limitations. So I'm actually working in the ready-mix concrete industry now, of all things, and the heavy-duty truck industries, which are significantly larger volume-wise and business-wise. And I just, it was a better opportunity for me. But I kept doing the weekly ride videos on my spare time. Basically, I would run over to the dealership after work, grab a bike, shoot a video. And it was really fun, but really hectic for a while. I mean, I was doing a video a week, which was tough. And then we got this big job at work with my day job. And it was out of town, and I was traveling, and I traveled for a couple months on and off, but I just wasn't able to keep or maintain the weekly ride going every week. So I took a little break in October. I came back and I did it, and then, you know, around the end of October, November, I think it was, that they announced the merger, and then they were moving. They moved their entire warehouse, and so they weren't local to me anymore, and that combined with how busy I was, it was just a good time to part ways. No hard feelings at all. I've seen some comments about people wondering what went down. It wasn't, you know, there was no drama. It was just I was busy and they were moving, and so it was just a good time to kind of part ways. But at any rate, just wanted to clear the air there, and I wish those guys the best. They're the few that I did meet from the new location were riders, and I'm sure they're going to do their best to serve the customers. And now I'm a customer. You know, I miss my my employee discount. If you guys are watching, feel free to send me some gear. But no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, with that behind us, let's go check out an XR 650L and see what we think. I know you guys wouldn't mind seeing some dual sport videos anyway, but I know you'll miss the ZRX just like me. And if this deal doesn't work out, unfortunately, I think my mind is made up that it's gonna go. So I'll just be selling it outright if this deal doesn't work out. But I'll yeah, see. I'm gonna turn. Okay. Woo, man. Interesting weather, to say the least. It's one one kind of fun challenge though about riding that I do like is memorizing directions. I never ever did get a phone mount. I have used GPSs. I have a handheld hiking GPS from Garmin that I use for long trips. But if it's something like this where I'm just going to meet the guy, I'll look at the directions and I'll memorize the turns, and it works out about 60% of the time. Sometimes I forget what street I was supposed to turn on or how far it was. I usually second guess myself and I'm like, I must have missed it, and then I pull my phone out and realize that I still have another mile to go before the street. So pretty sure I'll be able to find this place though. Alright, well, I know there's way less subscribers on this channel than there were on the other one where I was doing weekly rides. But having said that, I am curious, those of you that are watching, the few, throw me a comment if you would be interested in watching. It's kind of silly to ask because I've gotten so many messages, and I've tried to respond to everybody, and I appreciate all the messages and all the love and support I got over the past few years, really. But especially once the video stopped, I got, oh man, I still get messages all the time from guys wondering what's going on and when the next videos are and all that. But you know, would you be interested in watching videos on this channel? I probably can't commit to doing them weekly. I would love to. I might, but you know, if and when I do have a motorcycle to ride, I might do that. And the reviews are also a possibility. I still get along great with the guys at what was Hager Cycle World. They've actually changed ownership also, and they're now known as Rock Hill Power Sports. So I know they're definitely open to continuing the ride reviews that I was doing on some of their motorcycles that they have in stock. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. Just leave in the comments. I'd be curious to know how many of you out there are still waiting. All right, see you in a bit. All right, here we are. Let's check it out. How's it going?
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's one thing, you can hear it coming.
It rained on at least.
Somehow I made it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm Reuben.
Jeff.
Jeff,
Nice
good to meet you, man.
Yeah,
That's
so,
her. She's been my baby for a while.
Yeah, I watched that video. I almost watched the whole thing. It's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I used to make ride videos.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I seen that you showed something in there.
Yeah, and I actually worked in the motorcycle industry.
Oh, nice.
For about 4 years, and 4 or 5 years, and I've done so many videos on this thing, product reviews and all kinds of stuff. And
cool, man.
yeah, it's a cool bike.
Let's go look at this other one.
Sure.
It's not as nice as this one, but let's look.
Hey.
It's in the back.
It's got 2 wheels.
Yeah.
Let me grab the key. Well, as the sun sets and the lightning strikes, listen to me being all poetic. I'm riding the ZRX home, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna trade the ZRX for an XR 650L plus a little cash. It's an older one, but that means I'll still have a bike in the garage, which is awesome. Of course, it won't be a ZRX. Oh man, I'm gonna miss this bike. But yeah, you know, I've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking over the past, I don't know, year really, a little over a year, and it's just time. It's time to move on. So I met a guy named Jeff who has the XR 650L, just moved here from California, and looking for a little more of a street-oriented bike. The XR he got from a friend, but it's definitely in need of some help. So I'll be bringing that back to life, hopefully. Man, there is some serious wind going on. I don't know if you can see all the dust in the air, but I'm riding by the airport again, heading home. So these planes coming in and out are having a heck of a time tonight. Crosswinds and thunderstorms to avoid. So just again wanted to thank you guys for riding along with me every Wednesday for quite some time. Today actually does happen to be Wednesday too. So let me know if you would be interested in another ride series. I don't know again if I could do weekly rides, but something would be doable maybe. But I'm sure gonna miss the ZRX. And it looks like I might get soaked, so we'll see. Definitely been lucky so far. I'm gonna miss this bike. Done track days, ridden across countless states, across the Skyway, the Dragon. But I'm so thankful that I'm gonna have a bike in the garage still. So I'll get that XR fixed up and we'll see if maybe we can get something going there. You guys don't mind an older bike, do you? It's only 21 years old. Of course, the ZRX is getting up there too. She's almost 16. Sweet 16. Anyway, I've droned on long enough. So I'll sign off for now, and you guys stay tuned to this channel because something will be uploaded at some point. I will be back.
Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed that reminiscent old ZRX retro sound. I know I sure did. I missed that bike a lot. And miss riding in general. I haven't ridden much at all in the last few years. Like I said, I haven't had a bike. Thrown a leg over a friend's bike once or twice. That's it, which is crazy. I do enjoy my time out here on the water. I sail, and that's fun, but not the same as riding a motorcycle. So anyway, definitely let me know your thoughts and comments. There's only maybe 1,000 people or so on this channel. We had a good little group on the old one, but thinking about resurrecting this old thing. Maybe like a phoenix rising from the ashes kind of deal. Let me know what you think about that. Obviously, I need a motorcycle, so let me know. What do you think? I'm thinking Z900 RS. I'm a Cowie guy after all. Stay tuned, guys.
I knew I was gonna get soaked. Ah, yes, riding in the rain.